Yo, today's video about improving PoE2 and character creation and stuff is about quest rewards and some of the things I'm hoping to see when the rest of the campaign is added. Lately, there's been a lot of talk from people, loud people in the community, how they really hate the campaign. Some of that could be because you have to go through it again in Cruel, and people are getting a little bogged down and having to redo all that. I think that if the campaign gives you good rewards that'll help you aid in character building, then I think the quests and stuff would be really fun to do. So in the campaign currently, there are some pretty good quest rewards, but a lot of the quests too just offer things like a support gem or a skill gem. Or there's that one quest which is really optional where you can collect those idols and decorations and stuff, and then you just sell them for like a couple thousand gold or less. And it's in Act 3. Hoping that they expand on this and take away a lot of the crappy rewards. So things like a new skill slot would be nice in a quest, because if you're playing a build that wants to play the Vision and you want to have a lot of combos and stuff, you don't really generally have enough skill slots. So that would be nice, just like how an unset ring works. Another cool reward could be reducing the weapon swap penalty. Perhaps you do a quest for some kind of weapons master or martial artist or something or whatever. I think that they should just remove weapon swap penalty from the game anyway. But if they don't want to do that, then it would be nice if you could get a reward, and this way it would be optional for people that want to use different weapons and stuff. And this could like cut that penalty in half or something. I was also kind of not loving how they removed all of the jewel sockets on the passive tree. It would be cool if through the acts 4, 5, and 6 there was like a quest in each one of those that allows you to place a jewel socket of your choosing into the passive tree somewhere. I think that would be nice, because the jewels are something to farm. You can get really lucky on some of them with some really nice mods once in a while. And if you have, like 5 jewel sockets, it can really improve a build that you're working on. It can really be a nice metric to min-max for a build as well. So I kind of hope that we could get quests in the new acts to come that would just allow us to place those jewel sockets back into the tree that they removed. A lot of people want more movement in the game, and it seems like on the passive tree there's a lot of people that always just take all the movement speed nodes, and they feel like they have no choice but to take those, so it would just be nice to get like a little 5% or a 10% buff to movement speed, maybe somewhere like in Act 2 or something, so that if you haven't found a pair of boots yet that have movement speed, at least you could do the quest that gives you like 10%, and that could feel a little better. Another one that I'd like to see is I feel as if the attack speed in the game is just so slow for melee builds in general. You really need attack speed on your weapon. You need attack speed on your gloves, several nodes in the passive tree. And it would be nice if you could just get a quest that was just like a permanent buff for attack speed, like a 10% buff or something. I just think that, like, once again, these kinds of quests would make the campaign a little bit more fun to complete the quest. Like, oh, sweet, I'll do that quest because I'm playing a melee build, so I definitely want that attack speed quest, Maybe if you're a spellcaster, you don't have to do that one, right? Maybe there's a cast speed quest for those characters. These are the kind of things that I want them to consider when creating new quests. I'd like to see no quests that just give you a support gem or a skill gem, and I'd like to see all the quests have some kind of character building aspect to them. More skill points would always be welcome. Always, because I feel like I never have enough skill points in the game, or stat points, It's my opinion that they need to reduce the requirements for gear and skill gems by about 10% across the board. But if they're not going to do that, then it would be nice to get some more stats as quest rewards so that I can equip certain things and try to mix and match skills a little better. I think it's a good idea to reduce the requirements by 10% because that wouldn't enable stat stackers even more, because that seems like something they really don't want people to do as much now with the new patch. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, some of the notables that are on the skill tree should just be kind of like a quest reward or something. And it doesn't have to be like build defining, just like things like mana cost reduction, you know? Like if I could just get that, that would be nice. I know a lot of builds struggle with mana in the end game. Like you can hit a wall, like you can level your gems up to like 19, 20, and then all of a sudden you have mana problems, you know? And it's like, I can't get rid of the runes that are in my gear to like put mana regen runes because I need the res and stuff. So another quest that brings to mind would be just about sockets. So they added more artificer orbs to the campaign, which is fine. But what I would like to see is actually quest rewards for some kind of blacksmith like Renly or something, someone like Renly later on in the campaign, where you can have gear add another socket. So right now, the only way to get an extra socket on something is if it gets the corruption with a Val Orb. And, you know, I just think that we just need more tools to fill out our builds, you know? So quests in the campaign that do that would be nice. And then maybe there could be some kind of bench blacksmith thing that carries over into the end game if you've done that quest, so that you can have that. I know a lot of people say they want a crafting bench like in PoE 1, and GGG seems to say things like, well, the runes are the replacement. So I think that they need to add like a socket to all the pieces of gear, you know, just like at a minimum, because stats are tight, res is tight, life builds have low pools of effective life compared to energy shield. There's just a lot of things that just feel very limiting right now. Yeah, so that's kind of my principle for how the rewards should be handled in the campaign, is that they should all be character building, character enhancing, and things like gold and support gems and skill gems. You can have that in there, but in addition to those things, so that every quest is worth doing in the campaign. If you go through the campaign now, you will find yourself just gravitating towards the quests that give you permanent buffs, you know? So I think that that's how they should approach it. Let me know if you think there's any other cool things that they should do. This is not even including the end game, by the way. I think the end game also needs quests and quest rewards for all kinds of character building and all kinds of quality of life things. If you want to know my ideas on that, when it comes to mapping and all kinds of stuff, I'll do a video on that too. All right, thanks, dudes. See ya. Let me know if you got any other ideas for quest rewards in the campaign as well. Thanks.